Before we dive in, let me leave you with a truth that echoes across every chapter in human history. Nothing we are began in silence. Every civilization, every story, every ancestor left a trail of wisdom waiting to be rediscovered. What you are about to hear is a part of a legacy, preserved, decoded, and brought back to the forefront. I'm OG Mooney. Welcome to AI Legacy Lab.
Long before the pyramids, before the first empires rose, even before the wheel turned its first revolution, there were people walking the ancient red earth of Australia. Their story is older than recorded history itself, a living epic that stretches back an astonishing 60,000 years. This makes them one of the oldest continuously living cultures on our planet. Their ancestors were among the very first human explorers. As part of the Great Migrations out of Africa, they embarked on a journey across ancient shorelines, crossing seas that have long since vanished. They settled a vast continent, a land untouched by the rest of the world for tens of thousands of years. It's a foundational chapter in the human story, yet it's one that is too often left on the sidelines of our global narrative. Imagine a world mapped not by lines and borders, but by spirit and memory. This is the dreaming. For Aboriginal peoples, the dreaming is not a myth from a distant past. It is an eternal living reality. It's a cosmic memory, a spiritual blueprint of the world, passed down through generations in song, ceremony, fire, and the land itself. Every river that flows, every stone that stands, every tree that grows, and every desert ridge that cuts across the horizon has its own story, its own guardian spirit, its own profound meaning. Long before written language was developed, they encoded entire histories, encyclopedias of knowledge, into oral traditions called songlines. These weren't just songs, they were intricate navigational charts. A person initiated into the songline could traverse the entire continent, from the coast to the deep interior, with perfect precision, guided only by the melody and lyrics that described the landscape. It was a GPS system powered by memory and music. Modern science is only now catching up to the incredible depth of their knowledge. We're rediscovering their sophisticated understanding of astronomy, which guided their calendars and ceremonies. We're studying their environmental mastery, particularly the way they sustained entire ecosystems through controlled, cool-burning fires, an ancient form of land management that prevented catastrophic wildfires and promoted biodiversity. They were the original scientists and ecologists of this continent. For over 2,000 generations, they didn't just survive. They thrived. They adapted to some of the harshest deserts, the most unforgiving monsoon forests, and dramatic climate swings that reshaped Australia over millennia. Ice ages came and went, sea levels rose and fell, and yet they adapted without ever losing their core identity. They built complex trade routes that crisscrossed the continent, connecting distant clans across thousands of miles. They developed intricate systems of spiritual law and vast cultural networks that maintained peace and shared resources. Their history is etched into the very rock of the land. Aboriginal rock art is some of the oldest on Earth, a gallery of humanity's earliest expressions. These aren't simple drawings. They are living timelines carved into stone, capturing the movements of ancient megafauna that have been extinct for tens of thousands of years. They depict celestial beings, creation stories, and social laws, a library written on the landscape itself, reaching back to the very dawn of human consciousness. And this ancient story is also written in their DNA. Genetic studies have revealed that some of the earliest branches of the human family tree are still present among Aboriginal communities today. Their genes preserve a direct, unbroken link to those first migrations. They carry the markers of the early coastal travelers who moved along the southern route out of Africa, through Arabia, into Asia, and eventually made the daring sea crossing into Sahul, the ancient supercontinent that once connected Australia, New Guinea, and Tasmania. Their very existence is one of the most powerful living links we have to the story of how all of us began. Yet, despite their incredible age, their profound wisdom, and their unbroken connection to the land, the last few centuries have been a story of immense hardship. Aboriginal Australians have faced displacement, loss, and a systematic attempt to erase their culture. The arrival of Europeans brought diseases, violence, and policies that severed their connection to their ancestral lands and their families. Their languages were suppressed, their ceremonies were forbidden, and their history was ignored. But their culture was not broken. It endured. It survives today with incredible resilience and strength. You can see it in the vibrant contemporary Aboriginal art that is celebrated around the world. You can hear it in the music that blends ancient rhythms with modern sounds. You can feel it in the power of their ceremonies. And you can witness it in the growing movement to revitalize and teach the hundreds of languages that were once spoken across the continent. In their voices and their traditions, we witness one of humanity's greatest examples of survival and endurance. A people who held on to their identity while the entire world changed around them. Today, as modern society begins to rediscover the importance of ancient ecological knowledge, and as humanity looks back to understand its own origins, the story of Aboriginal Australians stands as a powerful reminder of something fundamental. Our beginning wasn't just written in the soil of Africa. It was carried across oceans by the footsteps of those first explorers, whose descendants still walk this earth. To understand their journey is to understand a deeper part of ourselves, to read the oldest living chapter of the human story. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as we do, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more journeys into our shared human past.
Another chapter reclaimed, another piece of history placed back where it belongs. If you have found any meaning in this, let it sit with you. Let it sharpen your vision, not just for the past, but for who we are becoming. I'm OG Mooney, and this is AI Legacy Lab. Honoring truth, protecting legacy, one story at a time. Until next time, stay curious.